So a little bit's happened between the last video and this video. So I moved house from Townsville to Brisbane. Had Christmas, New Year's, all that kind of good stuff, and I've had the joys of myself and my family unpacking our new place, trying to set my gym up and get things started in the new year. With OPEX, I also had the cohort call, which is, as I mentioned in one of the other videos, like a giant Skype call, but it's on Zoom, I think, with James, Jim, and then everyone else doing the OPEX CCP Level 1. So James Fitzgerald, of course, is the founder of OPEX. Back in the day, it used to be called OPT, or Optimum Performance Training. And it was on the topic of consultations, and it's interactive, like I've said before. So it's not just him talking one way and you listening. He actually engages, and you as someone there can actually speak on the messenger or get put onto the video feed and then interact with James and other people directly as well, which is pretty cool. On the cohort call that was done on consultation, he actually asked if anyone had been using any consulting practices. I said, yep, I'd been doing it. And then I was the only guy, girl, person, I think, that had actually been using consultations as a key part of their business. And so, yeah, I got to speak to James Fitzgerald, and we got to interact, talking about the processes and identifying what I need to do to make it more useful. And for me, it's something I sort of already knew, is to standardize how I run my consultations. So using SOPs or standard operating procedures, a fancy acronym that OPEX uses, and we also use in the Army as well, which is just a standard way of doing things. So that's something I'm working on now, with a little bit of off time I have before I go back to my main job.
What's your purpose for what I can provide to you, to the education? What things are you looking to fix? I hope you've recognized from, I guess, the heaviness of...
Following on from that, of course, is when the move all the way down from Townsville to Brisbane happened. So I finished up at my day job in the military, which is a pretty full-on job, and then had to move house in December, which also has my daughter's birthday, so it was her first birthday, my birthday, my partner's birthday. The next day after that was Christmas Eve, then it was Christmas, then it was New Year's. So seeing a lot of friends and family whilst doing a removal at a really busy time and trying to keep up with OPEX at the time was actually a bit tough. So in the last video, I was really well ahead, and like a few weeks ahead, and I was pretty happy with that. This time I've slowed down, and effectively I've ended up catching up to being back on track just now. So it took a lot longer than what I was hoping to do this third module, which is the module on assessment. And there was another cohort call. So they happen pretty much every month, or they do happen every month, in early January. And at the time, I was actually down in Canberra visiting my family, and it was just a bad time for me to do it. So I missed that cohort call, which I was a bit disappointed at. But the good news is they're all recorded, and in the OPEX dashboard, when you log in, you can actually go and look and actually view any of the cohort calls for your individual cohort. So even if you can't make the cohort calls because you've got other things on, you've got other appointments, that's still fine. You can actually still see the cohort call. You can watch it as a video, so you still get all the goodness that you'd get even if you can't make it. Now, best case is you can make it, and depending where you are in the world, what the time zone is comes into play. For me, it's pretty early in the morning. But if you can't make it for whatever reason, life happens. I think that's an important thing to factor in. You have to juggle doing the OPEX CCP with everything else going on in life. You still don't miss out. So it's not the end of the world. If you don't get to see the cohort call, you can still watch it later, which is pretty cool. Following on from the cohort call that I missed was also the module for the last month or so has been on assessments. So that's going through body, move, and work. So I've just completed the quiz for the assessment module of the OPEX CCP Level 1. Now this test was a bit tougher than the last two tests. Some of the questions really relied on you taking detailed and thorough notes during the videos and all the coursework. And I got 23 out of 25, so I got another 92%. It took a little bit longer on this one. I took my time due to the fact the questions were a bit tougher than the last two modules. So it took about 22 minutes overall to do, I think, the 25 questions or so. So pretty stoked, and next step I'll be getting into the program design module, which I'm really looking forward to, which apparently is even bigger than the assessment module. Anyway, have a good one. Ciao.